So in this demo, we're going to show how to make a white stock. We're going to start off with our vegetables, which in this case we're using a mirepoix. That's a combination of celery, carrots, and onions. So we're making a white chicken stock. So I got my onions here and took the skin off, and then I'm just going to cut them into some big pieces. This stock's going to cook for a while, so you want to cut everything into big pieces so it can cook for a while without falling apart. I'm going to add that into a container with my celery, which I've already chopped and forgot to film. And then I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to get to work on the carrot. I'm just going to take a second and peel that. This is half, I should mention, of the biggest carrot I have ever seen in my life. I'm going to take the peel off of that and get that off the cutting board, and then get rid of the end and just chop it into some big pieces like I did with the onion. Again, always finding that flat side because that's the safest way to cut things, and I'm cutting that into nice big pieces just like I did with the onion. No need to be too precise. Since the stock's going to cook for a long time, you just want big rough chunks, and that's what I got here. So I'm going to throw that into the container with my onions and celery, and there we go. I got my mirepoix all ready to go. Next, I'm going to prepare the seasonings for this, which in this case is just going to be what's called a bouquet garni, which just means a bundle of herbs. So I've got some thyme and a bay leaf there, and I'm going to wrap them up with string. Just tying it up so that the herbs are easy to find so they don't fall apart, and I'm going to tie a quick little knot in that, and that's going to be ready to go into the stock. So we got our little bouquet garni right there. So I have my mise en place now. I got my bouquet garni, I got my mirepoix, the vegetables, and I got some chicken bones. And since we're making a white stock, there's no need to roast anything. Everything all goes in the pot together. So I got my bones, they go in the pot, in with the mirepoix, and I'm going to cover that with cold water, and we'll get that onto the stove. So once that's full, we'll pop that up onto the stove, we'll bring it up to a boil, and it's going to cook for a few hours. Once it's come up to a boil, though, for the first couple of minutes, we're going to take a ladle and skim all what's called the scum off the top of the stock. It's just this kind of ugly gray foam that won't hurt you, but it makes the stock kind of gross and cloudy. So we're going to get rid of that. So it's just a matter of taking a ladle and skimming it off just in the first 10 minutes or so when it comes to a boil. And then we're going to let it cook for a while. So about 4.5 hours later, this is where we're at. You'll notice the stock is not exactly white, even though it is a white stock. We didn't roast anything. It does have a little bit of color, mostly from the carrots. And so I'm straining that. I cut this off just a second before I got greedy and spilled those bones all over the counter, by the way. So I'm going to take and strain them through a strainer. There we go. And we'll pour that into a container. Put a lid on it and chill that overnight. And now we've got our fresh white chicken stock. Like I said, it's not exactly white, but we followed that procedure. Okay, there we go.